Just to be clear, was the president's statement incorrect?
Not trying to get involved in campaign events or really go further on comments on the debate.
Are you serious?
If the president had more context, I'd refer you to the White House to speak to his comments. I think you and others have reported on some of the tragic losses of life that we have seen from service members, whether it be, as Phil referenced, in Jordan or in other places around the world. And you've seen this president express his deepest condolences to those families
We've
as
seen
well.
him
So
check his
I would
watch
refer you to the
3
White House
times.
for more.
Beating around the bush here. This is a question to the Pentagon. Do you? Has President Biden had service members die anywhere in the world during his time in office?
As you have reported on, we have certainly had service members pass.
They pass
during this administration.
Right. Yeah, heart attacks, that kind of thing. Yeah, car accidents. Some kind of disease. A few COVID-19ers. Whatever.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
It happened. It happened, Jeffy. It's hard to believe. It was pre-vaccine though, because the vaccine, of course, once you took that, it saved everybody. Once you took the vaccine, it guaranteed you weren't going to get it.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. It was 100% effective. Also, here's a widow of a fallen U.S. soldier.
This is so sad.
This is very sad. She weighed
I've
in.
gotten a lot of text calls and messages about Joe Biden's claim that he's lost no service members in the last 4 years under his administration, and everyone finds that ironic because my husband died 7 months ago while deployed under the Biden administration, and everyone expects me to be really angry about that statement, about him not remembering that sacrifice that my husband made. But here's a little secret. I was already angry because when I had to fly for 12 hours for the first time with my 16-month-old to Dover Air Force Base, 8 hours after learning my husband died, to receive his remains back into the United States, you know who couldn't be bothered to show up to that dignified transfer? Joe Biden. I had to get on a flight 8 hours after I learned my husband died and fly for 12 hours with a breastfeeding 16-month-old and sit in the rain at 1 a.m. to welcome my husband, his remains, in a flag-covered casket back onto U.S. soil. But he couldn't be bothered. So no, I'm not angry about his statement. I've been angry for a long time, and I've been knowing that he does not give a
Wow. That's pretty sobering. That pretty well sums it all up.
Sure does.
Man. Also, KJP was asked about Biden's health, and here's what she had to say.
Can you tell us more about his cold? When did he contract it?
When did he get his cold?
Did it affect his performance last night?
Step back for a second.
Let's step back.
Yes, and I think we shared this with many people yesterday. The president had a cold. He had a sore throat. That happens. And that's what you heard last night.
Yeah, that's what we heard.
And, I'll leave it there. I don't have anything else to add. I think Michael covered a lot of this just moments ago. But yes, he had a cold. He had a sore throat. Once he knew that he had a cold and a sore throat, he tested. He certainly tested for COVID. It was negative.
Negative.
And then
he didn't have
moved
COVID.
on from there.
Why did the White House wait until the middle of the debate to release that information?
I'll tell you this. Look, he had a strong debate prep week.
A week.
And he got a cold, which happens.
And he got a cold.
It happens.
It happens. It happens.
It's not
What are you going to
unusual.
do?
It's
not unusual
something,
to be loved by anyone.
You don't share it every time. The president has a cold. It happened. Once
she said it again.
Once
he had a cold.
Once he
it happens.
had the cold and had a sore throat, again he tested negative for COVID, and then we moved on.
And then it turned out he had a cold. It
Disclosure
happened.
of that information.
What am I going to do?
I mean, Tyler, he got a cold. It happens.
It's not unusual.
She
keeps
saying before the debate
to have a cold
for
anyone.
Obviously, during the debate, we were asked if the president has a cold. We said
yes.
We were asked about his hoarse voice. We shared that he had a cold.
Yeah.
We shared that he tested negative, and then we moved on. That's it. It was from his voice as he was speaking during the debate, obviously.
Obviously.
To let the public know if you weren't asked about it.
It happens.
It happens. What can I tell you? It happens.
Right, but
I got nothing to add to the fact that it happens, except that he had a cold.
Why he wasn't doing well.
This is
So
incredible.
people asked why he had a hoarse voice.
Yeah.
Because he had a cold.
Because he had a
also
cold,
shared,
that's why.
we went a step
That's why.
further and shared that he tested for
shared.
COVID and was negative.
They did go a step further.
He had a cold.
He had a cold. It
That's what
happens.
it was.
Okay, it happens. Wow! It's not unusual to contract a cold. It's not unusual. But when I see you hanging around with anyone, it's also not unusual to see me cry. I want to die. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah, it happens.
I do.
It happens. He had a cold. He had a sore throat. Get off him. All right? He was brilliant other than that.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, in addition to the cold, he's had a lifelong stuttering problem.
Right.
Somebody had to say it.
Yeah, it has to be said.